Hello and welcome to WeighPay. In this video we're going to show you how to do an outbound sale using a sell ticket in the mobile application. And while we do have multiple methods for outbound shipping, both in the back office, you can do direct packing slips with settlement reports, you can do shipping reports. However, if you want to conduct sales invoices to be able to invoice for your customers, we do recommend the sell ticket. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're typically going to go to our shipped weights steel. So this is just an example category that I have: shipped weights versus received weights. So when we do the shipped weights, we can, let me just override this and we'll just put in like 10,000 pounds was our heavy weight. That's, of course, we would have obviously weighed the truck first, empty, loaded it full of our steel product, and then got the gross weight. But I think that's self-explanatory, and so we're just going to say that the truck weighed to 5,000 pounds. Now, this could be printed. We would print a weight ticket and save this, and so what this does is parks the ticket. It's an active sale, so there's no need to finish this ticket yet because we have not invoiced for it, but we're simply going to create a weight ticket. Now, this weight ticket is going to be also known as a bill of lading or a manifest, and so this would be your outbound paperwork to hand your driver. And so we would set this up so that it would print out and your driver could go deliver the load. That could be either on a thermal receipt or an 8.5 by 11. So however, when that driver returns, you simply can go back into that exact same ticket, if that's the ticket that we're headed back into, and you can see that we've got our shipped weights and we shipped 5,000 pounds in this scenario. Now, we are tracking the service location address, so we know this went to Ben's Recycling, 3343 Railroad Avenue. And we also know that we're shipping under a sales order 1200, under a PO, and we know who the contact is. That's just all right here on the ticket. So we know when it was weighed, when it was tared out, so we can tell our turnaround times in the yard. And so there's a bunch of features that you could take from here. So let's assume that your empty truck has arrived back at the yard and you have a weight ticket from your buyer and you would like to enter that in. So there's a couple things you can do to accomplish that. So the first thing we're going to put is we're going to enter in our received weights. So under our received weights, this is going to be our invoice line. You already noticed that it's pulled in my sales price from the sales orders, 7 cents. And so we are just simply going to override this weight, and we're simply going to say that, okay, now we've got our truck is returning, and we're going to enter in the weights from the buyer. So the buyer said that we had 9,800 pounds. And then they said that we had the tare weight, of course, was the same 5,000. And so they were able to confirm our tare weights were correct, but they are 200-pound deduction here. So you can see that we're going to invoice this at the reduced amount. Now, there's a couple different things that can happen from here. Is you could put buyer's weight ticket number this, and you could put on here 200-pound trash dirt deduction, something like that. Now you can have preset notes so that you don't have to type. So if I wanted to use a preset note, I could create those in advance and I would know what my note is from the buyer. So we're saving this. So that goes right on the line item that we want to record. This is going to be our inventory line item, and this obviously here is our external. Now this one here is going to reduce the weight of your inventory because we've got this one connected to reduce inventory. This one, however, is not connected, so meaning that the 98, it already reduced the 5,000 pounds. That's already out of your inventory upon shipping. So it's no longer in your yard, it's no longer in your inventory. Some people would reverse this. Some people might say, you know what, let's go ahead and ship it, but let's not reduce inventory until we put in the actual 4,800 pounds with the 200-pound deduction. So a couple of the other things that can happen at this point that we've seen rather common in the industry as a standard practice is the ability to go here and attach a document. This document would be your receiving report from your customer. So this would have the weight ticket, this would show the deduction, this would connect your buyer's load to this ticket. So you can attach a document, simply take a picture with the tablet or put it in a document scanner, however you want to do that. And so there are additional grading elements that you might want to bring into, and you could use this item info field if you wanted to add additional data that maybe is related to your sales. And so this would be deduction. This would be for reporting purposes. So I could add additional information here, such as container numbers or anything else that I might want to record against this one. So let's just assume that we're done with this one and we got 6569 and we want to go ahead and print an email. So this is going to send my customer an invoice, or we could simply pay without printing and then we could go email them an invoice from the back office. So we're going to do that because maybe we want to send them something a little bit more formal. So I'm going to hit pay without printing. And this is, of course, then you can assume here if there's a payment type. Now, AR billing is the payment type because obviously we haven't invoiced them yet and they haven't paid yet. So let's go ahead and just send this to AR invoicing. And this is then going to pull my inventory, of course, has been pulled. And now it's just saving this transaction for me. We know what our shipped weights were versus our received weights. So what I want to do is I want to reduce this screen and go into my back office screen. So let's go ahead and just get into our back office. So in the WeighPay online back office, we're able to see there's that sale, 336. So we know we've made a sale. We can simply go to accounting, go to AR, and then we're going to see that Ben's Recycling, that was the service location that we shipped the load to. You can see the shipped weights versus the received weights, the dollar amount, and then we can say, let's go ahead and invoice the customer. Now, you could, if we had multiple loads for Ben, we could, let's say we made 5 loads today. We could combine those 5 loads into a single invoice, or we could invoice them on a one-by-one basis. So that's your call, but I'm just going to do a one-by-one basis. And so you can see here that we've got Ben's Global Recycling. We could fill in any additional information. There, of course, could have already been payment terms on the account, but let's just say it's like a net 30. And you could say that the attention to Ben, and you could put it here. Now, this would all be pulled from the file. You shouldn't have to type anything at this point, but I'm just going to save that. And you can see we've got this one ticket for this one cell, and we could add more sales to this one, or we could say, you know what, we're done with this. So I'm going to hit the save button, and this can now be emailed. This invoice can be emailed, but let's take a look at the invoice. So the invoice is showing us that we've got this was our shipped weights, this is our received weights. So this way, our customer that we're invoicing knows that we're billing them at 7 cents a pound, that's $336 is what they owe us. And then if we go back in here, you can see our notes that we're on the shipped weights versus the received weights. So it gives you a good clean audit trail all the way through. And you can see down at the bottom that we do track the audit of when the ticket was started. So this way we can see the process and who was involved in the process. So if there were different users that maybe started the ticket versus finished the ticket, etc. So this gives us the ability to ship out this invoice. And then we can also go back into our invoices by going to accounting, going to AP/AR payment history, go to AR summary, and you're going to notice that here's this one for 336. We're going to go ahead and accept a payment against this. So again, I could reprint it, I could attach documents, I could email it, but I'm just going to go here and you can see that we're going to accept all partial payment, or we could accept a full payment. So let's go ahead and just say, well, what was the date of the payment? And so we can say that today is the 30th. And we accepted a check. They sent the driver with a check, they mailed a check. This could happen, of course, as you know, 2 weeks later, 30 days later is when this payment's going to arrive. And of course, this payment could come from wire transfer, via credit card. There could be many different methodologies, but let's just leave it as check number 132, and we're going to set that payment against that. At this point, this is a settled invoice. This invoice is done. We've been paid. There's nothing wrong. We can attach images, attach files. We could email this over, and let's just take a look at this. And this is going to show us that it's a paid invoice, the invoice number, how it was paid, and of course this would automatically be updating your accounting system. Should you be using like QuickBooks or Oracle NetSuite, this will automatically send to your accounting system the updated information. So it could be sending the invoice with the invoice payment, or when we shipped it, maybe we sent the invoice, and then when we received the money, that money was then received. So I hope this helps you understand. There are some settings that we went through when we set up our products, and so when you set up your purchase products, when you set up your sell products, there is the ability to make these shipped weights impact related. Received weights is not impact related, but it's the invoice line item. Very simple, very fast. please contact WeighPay 1-888-440-8858 or send us an email and we'd be happy to do some training for you. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and remember, WeighPay, so advanced it's simple.